Inseparable Bros 2019, directed by Yuk Sang-hyo, is a touching South Korean film that tells the story of two men with disabilities who are not related by blood but have formed a deep bond of brotherhood. The movie blends comedy, drama, and emotional depth as it explores themes of friendship, family, loyalty, and the challenges faced by people with disabilities in society. The film's central characters are Se-ha, played by Shin Ha-kyun, and Dong-gu, played by Lee Kwang-soo. Se-ha is physically disabled, paralyzed from the neck down, but is highly intelligent and sharp-witted. He relies on Dong-gu for his physical needs, as Dong-gu, who has an intellectual disability, has the physical strength and stamina that Se-ha lacks. Together, they form an inseparable duo, compensating for each other's weaknesses and forming a symbiotic relationship that is both functional and emotionally profound. The movie begins by introducing the everyday lives of Se-ha and Dong-gu. They live together in a small house and have grown to depend on each other entirely. Se-ha is the brains of the duo, handling all the decision-making and daily planning, while Dong-gu acts as the brawn, helping Se-ha with his physical needs, like feeding, bathing, and moving around in his wheelchair. Despite their struggles, they manage to find joy and humor in their lives, with Se-ha's sarcastic wit often complementing Dong-gu's childlike innocence and straightforwardness. Se-ha's backstory is gradually revealed. He was once a bright child with a promising future, but a tragic accident during his childhood left him paralyzed. His parents abandoned him after the accident, leaving him at a welfare center. Despite his physical limitations, Se-ha grew up to be extremely intelligent, and his sharp mind compensates for his inability to move. However, his abandonment by his family leaves a deep emotional scar, which makes him cynical and distrustful of others. Dong-gu, on the other hand, has the mental capacity of a child due to an intellectual disability. He was also abandoned as a child and grew up in the same welfare center as Se-ha. Dong-gu's simplicity and naivety make him a stark contrast to Se-ha's complex personality, but the two complement each other perfectly. Dong-gu's loyalty and kindness are unwavering, and he looks up to Se-ha as an older brother, following his guidance without question. The story takes a turn when Mi-yeon, played by Esom, enters their lives. Mi-yeon is a social worker with a heart of gold, who takes an interest in Se-ha and Dong-gu's well-being. She is compassionate and patient, trying to help them live better lives. Mi-yeon brings a new dynamic to the duo's lives as she introduces them to the idea of living more independently and making social connections. She encourages Se-ha to come out of his shell and helps Dong-gu pursue his dream of becoming a swimmer, something that seems impossible given his limitations. As the story progresses, Se-ha and Dong-gu face a series of challenges that test their bond. One major conflict arises when Dong-gu's long-lost mother reappears, claiming that she wants to take care of her son. Dong-gu is overjoyed at the prospect of reuniting with his mother, but Se-ha is deeply suspicious of her motives. He fears that Dong-gu's mother is only interested in taking advantage of her son, and this suspicion creates tension between Se-ha and Dong-gu for the first time in their relationship. The situation escalates when Dong-gu's mother tries to take him away from Se-ha. Dong-gu is torn between his loyalty to Se-ha and his desire to be with his biological mother. For the first time in the film, Se-ha feels helpless and vulnerable, as he realizes that he might lose the person he depends on the most. The emotional stakes are raised as Se-ha struggles to accept that Dong-gu might leave him, and he is forced to confront his own fears of abandonment. Throughout the film, Se-ha undergoes significant emotional growth. His relationship with Dong-gu forces him to confront his deep-seated insecurities and fears. He realizes that his controlling behavior stems from his fear of being abandoned again, as he was by his family. Se-ha's journey is one of self-awareness, as he learns to let go of his fears and allow Dong-gu to make his own choices. At the same time, Se-ha begins to open up to Mi-yeon, who provides him with emotional support and helps him see that he is not alone. Mi-yeon's compassion and kindness break through Se-ha's emotional defenses, and he starts to develop feelings for her. However, Se-ha struggles with the idea of being vulnerable and allowing someone else into his life, given his past experiences with abandonment. Dong-gu's character also undergoes growth throughout the film. While he is initially portrayed as someone who is completely dependent on Se-ha, he gradually learns to assert himself and pursue his own dreams. With Mi-yeon's encouragement, Dong-gu starts training as a swimmer, despite Se-ha's initial resistance. Se-ha fears that Dong-gu might get hurt or fail, but Dong-gu is determined to prove himself. Dong-gu's journey is one of self-discovery, as he learns that he is capable of more than he thought. His swimming training becomes a metaphor for his desire to break free from the limitations imposed on him by his disability and by Se-ha's overprotectiveness. Dong-goo's determination to achieve his goals, despite the odds, is one of the most inspiring aspects of the film. The film reaches its emotional climax when Dong-goo's mother attempts to take him away permanently. Se-ha is devastated at the prospect of losing his brother, and for the first time, he is forced to confront his own vulnerability. In a poignant scene, Se-ha breaks down and confesses his fears to Dong-gu, admitting that he is scared of being left alone. This moment of vulnerability strengthens their bond, as Dong-gu reassures Se-ha that he will never abandon him. In the end, Dong-gu decides to stay with Se-ha, choosing their bond of brotherhood over his biological family. Se-ha, in turn, learns to let go of his need for control and allows Dong-gu to pursue his own dreams. The film ends on a hopeful note, with Se-ha and Dong-gu continuing their journey together, stronger than ever. At its core, Inseparable Bros is a story about brotherhood. Se-ha and Dong-gu's relationship is the emotional heart of the film, and their bond transcends the limitations of blood relations. The film explores the idea that family is not just about biological ties, but about the emotional connections we form with others. Se-ha and Dong-gu are not related by blood, but their love and loyalty to each other are deeper than any familial bond. The film also tackles the theme of disability, portraying the challenges faced by people with disabilities in society. Se-ha and Dong-gu are both disabled, but in different ways. Se-ha is physically disabled, while Dong-gu has an intellectual disability. The film explores how their disabilities shape their lives, but it also emphasizes that they are not defined by their disabilities. Se-ha's intelligence and wit, and Dong-gu's kindness and determination, show that they are much more than their limitations. The film also touches on the theme of independence, as both Se-ha and Dong-gu struggle with their dependence on each other. Se-ha, in particular, has to learn to let go of his need for control and allow Dong-gu to pursue his own dreams. The film portrays the tension between dependence and independence, showing that while Se-ha and Dong-gu rely on each other, they also need to grow as individuals. Abandonment is another key theme in the film, particularly for Se-ha. His parents' abandonment after his accident leaves a deep emotional scar, making him distrustful of others. Throughout the film, Se-ha struggles with his fear of being abandoned again, particularly by Dong-gu. His controlling behavior stems from this fear, as he tries to keep Dong-gu close to avoid being left alone. However, the film also shows the importance of trust in overcoming the fear of abandonment. Se-ha learns to trust Dong-gu and allow him to make his own choices, which strengthens their relationship. The film ultimately conveys the message that trust is essential in any relationship, and that true love and loyalty can overcome the fear of abandonment. The film also addresses the issue of social stigma towards people with disabilities. Se-ha and Dong-gu face discrimination and prejudice from society, and their disabilities often make them feel isolated. However, the film also portrays the importance of acceptance and understanding. Mi-yun, in particular, represents the compassionate and accepting side of society, as she helps Se-ha and Dong-gu integrate into the community and pursue their dreams. Inseparable Bros is a heartfelt and emotionally resonant film that tells a unique and touching story about brotherhood, disability, and the challenges of life. Through its compelling characters and poignant storytelling, the film explores deep themes of family, trust, independence, and acceptance. Se-ha and Dong-gu's journey is one of self-discovery and emotional growth, as they learn to navigate the complexities of their relationship and the world around them.